Allow me to take the opportunity to express at this time the deepest sympathy and collective solidarity of the Oecs Commission, of our member governments, to the government and people of Vanuatu in the devastation recently experienced. Once again, we are reminded of our vulnerabilities to climatic events and the fact that the wounds of Vanuatu can be visited on every small island developing state. While the Samoa Pathway is now one of SID's guideline documents which identifies the issues and challenges, these are beneficial to set the context. But for me, the value lies in orientation towards action as engendered in this declaration, a component of which was given less of a prominence in its predecessors in the Barbados Program of Action for Sustainable Development of SIDS and the Mauritius Strategy of Implementation of the BPOA. The Samoa Pathway speaks of sustainable economic development, social issues, health, non-communicable diseases, youth and women, the impact and need for action in the areas of climate change and disaster reduction, sustainable energy, especially renewable, oceans, seas, and biodiversity, all of which are critical to food security and improve human well-being. Here in the Oecs, we face many challenges in these areas. However, over the years, many efforts are being made to respond, evident in our work at the Commission and also in numerous initiatives in our member states. Nevertheless, I do not want to speak of past accomplishments as they are there for us to revisit, but rather would like to place focus on looking at some of the actions required which could be considered in the deliberations of this meeting. It is understandable that science policy interfaces are complex. Knowing what they are and how they work, evaluating where and why they fail, and how to improve them, all of these still pose significant challenges and will continue to be part of our dialogue. There are, however, certain facets of this interface which I believe we can overcome. Firstly, there is a need for greater infiltration of science in policy making, and this meeting provides an opportune moment to center this dialogue given its critical role in shaping environmental governance. What we witness is the emergence of many interface tools such as platforms, scientific advisory bodies, and assessments, yet science and other forms of knowledge are still not highly used with desired effect in policy making to the extent that we would like. Could it be that the problem here is that we continue to work in silos where policymakers do not always effectively inform scientists about their needs for scientific knowledge, and scientists may not package critical information to compel the attention of policymakers. What is needed, in my opinion, is fostering of clear and open communication among all stakeholders, including scientists, policymakers, civil society, and the private sector. Secondly, tension can emerge in the science policy interface when there are misunderstandings or apparent uncertainty of results in scientific research. This can undermine public trust in scientists and the policies that were built on such research. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a prevailing risk, but that should not derail our drive if we are to truly develop the needed synergies between science and policy. Perhaps in areas where possible and necessary, procedures can be developed and dialogues undertaken between policymakers and scientists during the research phase rather than at the final output, which also rarely occurs. In fact, I may add to that this dialogue should also happen with other stakeholders, particularly communities and the general public. In my opinion, more often than not, policymakers seek conclusions that are evidence-based and not those that are value-laden. Both have their roles in decision-making, and as such, we need to find ways to have uptake for greater impact. Policy formulation often relies on value-laden conclusions, and this may be a way to change the way we use such results.